morning, FlossTube. It's Chrissy, finally a farm girl, and it is Sunday, June 26th, and this is FlossTube episode 50. I am so happy to be with you today. If you're new to my channel, I just want to welcome you. I have had a few people comment that have come over from a special friend that I have, and I will share her with you in just a little bit. So welcome. This is my channel about cross stitch, although sometimes I will throw a few other crafts in. Usually they relate to cross stitch or finishing, sometimes rug hooking and other textile arts. I do love to crochet, but it's been a good long while. Usually that's a winter thing for me that I enjoy adding into some of my little crafty time. Let's see here. I wanted to say thank you to all of you that enjoyed my StitchCon recap, even though I was still a little under the weather, but I have gotten some really kind comments on my recap, and so thank you so much for watching it. Thank you so much for just kind of taking that ride with me, with Linda and myself. Unfortunately, it was one of those things that when we got home, we were so hyped and so ready and then got so sick. So I am thankful to say that COVID has officially left the house. I still sound a little froggish, but I feel fine. I actually walked almost 4 miles yesterday. I think it was 3.7. And man, let me tell you, it doesn't take being sick or a little bit where you can't get outside to make you want to get outside, be active, eat healthier. COVID is not nice, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about it because, man, I am just glad that it is gone. Philip did end up getting an ear infection. We caught it. He's very good. When he needs to communicate, we've just, in 22 years of special needs and, only partially verbal, when he has something that's bothering him, he's going to let you know. So I was real proud of him that, he woke up, he let me know, he handled it really well, and we got right into the doctors, and we have a new general practitioner, and she's just incredibly kind to him. I'm so thankful for that, and he's doing great. So between me and my husband and Philip and Stitchy Linda, who also got, I am never going to say that StitchCon was not worth it. COVID was not fun, but StitchCon was worth all of everything. I just wish that I could have come home as hyped and feeling better in order to share it with you immediately. But anyways, excuse me. So yeah, walked, felt great, got outside a little bit. It's very hot in Florida. The heat index was about 105. The humidity is, but either way, like I said, being cooped up and quarantining yourself, we were incredibly excited to get outside, even if for just a little bit yesterday. And I think we should just get started here because I did not get together and do movies and dinner with my dad on Wednesdays, which if you're new here, that's something that I do. My dad lives in our community here, and he's about 2 miles away. And so usually Wednesdays I spend it with him, and it was a bummer that I've missed 2 Wednesdays in a row. So this coming Wednesday, we have plans and dinner at his house, and I'm just excited to get back to normalcy. So anyways, that will be Wednesday, and I wanted to go through some few announcements first, and I wanted to make sure you knew that I did not forget about the 7,000 subscriber giveaway. We will do that today. I have everything in front of me that will go to the lucky winner, and we're going to get that done this week so that next week I can announce that winner. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to share with you was something that happened right before StitchCon, and then we left, and I wanted to take 2 seconds. I wanted to make sure the timing was right. But I don't know if you all watched Justine of Welcome Stitchery. She has a new cross stitch shop and a really cute story about how she came into her cross stitch store, Welcome Stitchery. And I would love for you to go visit their FlossTube and follow on their Instagrams. But her cross stitch journey is, as far as the shop and everything, is really cute and very unique. So go give them a follow. The exciting part was that my designs are now in hard copy and available at 2 shops, Welcome Stitchery in Minnesota, as well as my local needlework shop, Brick City Cross Stitch in Ocala. So I just wanted to put it out there because there are people that still prefer to have those hard copies. And if you are in Minnesota, or just if that happens to be a shop that you call, that Welcome Stitchery now has hard copies of my designs. So that was just an exciting growth as far as my business side of the journey. And every little bit is absolutely a learning experience. And I just cannot thank Justine enough that we both felt, she's had her shop for a little over a year now. They went to StitchCon as well, but StitchCon B. She has a special event coming up in July. I think it's a 24 hours of cross stitch type of a retreat, which sounds phenomenal. But it's really nice when you can just be honest with somebody and say, I'm new at this and I want to take it slow. And, people are just absolutely wonderful in this community. So I want you to go give Justine a follow and watch some of they do this sip and stitch or sip and, it's really cute what they do on their channel, her and her friend. And like I said, go give them a follow and watch some of their first ones. It's really interesting. I loved how she came into purchasing and starting her shop. So that is Welcome Stitchery. The other thing was I wanted to share with you right off the bat that Stitching Granny of 17. I will make sure that all the names and all the information on these floss tubes are listed below or at the end so that you can have them. But Deborah, she is so sweet, and she has a floss tube. She has an Instagram account, and she is a power horse of a stitcher and quilter, and I absolutely love watching her floss tubes. She reached out to me, and she is doing something that I've not seen before on floss tubes, but she is featuring like new designers or designers that she's not maybe stitched for before, and I think that's super sweet. So she reached out, and last month she featured Darlene Dion, which we all love, and her designs are so good. She also does quilting designs as well. So this month, Deborah is going to, sorry about that. And I will say COVID brain is real. Boy, it just, I don't know if you just don't feel good, but it was different than other flus or whatever. But oh my gosh, couldn't remember anything to save my life. It seemed like just little silly things. But anyways, Deborah of Stitching Grannies of 17, she has 17 grandchildren, is the name of the floss tube. I'll put the link down below so that you have it. And she has, for the month of July, or during July, is I will be the featured designer, which is so sweet. So she stitched up my Abe's Parade, made it her own, which you know how I love that. She turned it into a stand-up, and I am going to insert a picture of it right here. And it blew my mind. She added a base, as you can see, to the bottom of him. She watched Vanna, the Twisted Stitcher's tutorial on how to do a stand-up. I think he turned out phenomenal. So that was the pattern she started with first. She's also working on Scarecrow Jack. So go check her out. Go check out her progress. And I also wanted to say that what will happen during this is each week she will do a giveaway, and that basically they will be my patterns, and she shares that with you. So just watch for the details. And there's also a very special surprise slash code slash nice discount that I have offered to her and her subscribers. So it's definitely worth it to hop on over and check out her most recent FlossTube, and that's where you can have the sweet treat from myself. And it is going to be for 17 days. So here's the deal. She has 17 grandchildren, and when she reached out and I was coming up with a code, I had to giggle because Philip's favorite number for his entire life, speaking life, was 17. It was always 17. If you asked him how many M&Ms he wanted, or how many of this he wanted, or how many cars he had, it was 17. It was always 17. And so it became comical over his lifetime that you just knew and had to ask, well, how many are there? Or how many Christmas presents are under that tree? It was 17. And it wasn't 17, it was 17. So my little mama's heart just loves the number 17. And it's just been something of a sweet and cute and comical for an entire lifetime with Philip. And I thought that was so great that 17 was in her Instagram name. It's the number of her grandchildren, Phil's favorite number. So the discount, you can connect the dots anyway. So have fun, hop on over there. And at this point, I think we should get into stitching. Now I'm gonna be honest, I stitched, when I wasn't feeling good, I did do some designing. For some reason, I hit a day with the COVID, and it was almost towards the tail end, but I got nauseous and I was having a hard time stitching, and I don't understand it. It's gone. I'm thankful that it's gone, but it was kind of, I don't know, it was uncomfortable, and nobody likes to be nauseous. So when I was finally able to get back to stitching, I stitched on my Twin Peak Primitives model stitch, and I pretty much stitched on that monogamously. So I really don't have stitching I can show you. What I am doing is I'll go through the giveaway right now so that you can see everything. Please remember that on all of these things that have been gifted, that I'm gifting, if you could make sure that you subscribe. If you are going to do this, let's just make sure that you subscribe. And like the gift from Under the Woolen Willow, please make sure that you follow her on Instagram, and let's just show the support. The key word for this week's 7,000 subscriber giveaway is strength. 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 One simple word. And it just is one of those that I think this week, going to StitchCon, not feeling good, I think the word strength represents a lot. I had to have a lot of strength in my faith to leave. I had to have a lot of strength to work through COVID. It's one thing if one person in the household's sick. It's another thing when you're sick and your kids are sick. So I just thought it was kind of a good word, and I feel like, I think that each person has to, I know a friend of mine right now, Mel stitches. She's going to model stitch for me, but she is so inspiring right now on her journey to strengthen herself physically, emotionally. So anyways, it just seemed like the right word for this. So let's get started, and let me share with you what is going to be in the giveaway for the prizes. The first one is going to be the by It's So Emma. I better get my glasses out. I love this. And I probably will turn around and get it for myself. But it is called Cut, Press, Sew, and is by Lori Holt of Bee in My Bonnet. And my laundry room feels boring to me. I've had really cute laundry rooms. The farmhouse, I had a really cute laundry room. So I know coming up, I want to paint and maybe not go with all the aqua colors, but at the same time, get some stitches in my laundry room. And how cute is this? So this is the first thing, and this is by It's So Emma Stitchery, but with the Lori Holt design. And the stitch count is 63 by 91. Not terribly big. And of course, we all know that you can just make them into little small pillows if you want to. So I think that's really cute. That's the first one, and that is courtesy of Fat Quarter Shop. Okay, this one, courtesy of Fat Quarter Shop. Sweet needle minder. I love them when they're this size. So this is my Lori Holt Be in My Bonnet. So how perfect. The next one is, one second here. Tea Time. Now I have seen people working on this and it is so pretty. So this is Tea Time. It is from their Stitch Quarterly, hashtag Stitch Quarterly. And it's by It's So Emma. I was just going to make sure I didn't miss anybody. It's Tea Time, and they stitched it on 28 count mushroom Lugana. Ooh, I love that. And finished by Priscilla Blaine. Oh, that's nice. So Stitching at a Housewives did the finishing job. Anyway, so that is there. Love that. It's a good Mother's Day stitch, actually. All right, the next one from Fat Quarter Shop is Sleigh Ride. I know that I've seen a few people stitching on this. It's really cute. Another one by It's So Emma. And it is called Sleigh Ride Cross Stitch. Let me make sure. Finished size is 5 3/4 by 4 inches, so not too big. Kind of cute as far as size wise. And it's calling for Mint Splash 32 count Lugana. So that's cute. I need to remember that color. Mint Splash. So that'll take care of your Christmassy needs there. Okay, now the next one is, of course, I'm gonna make sure you get some of mine. And so what I picked out were 3, actually 4, I just need to print it out for you, but 3 of my designs. The Night Before Christmas, and I know Deborah's gonna stitch this too from Stitching Granny 17. And she has a real funny mouse story, mouse, rat, whatever. So she's cute. She's got some really sweet stories as well. So that'll be one of mine. I also wanted to make sure that you got both jacks because fall stitching is coming up. I know there's Christmas in July stitching, hashtag Christmas in July, and that's a big thing, and so that's coming up. However, I wanted to make sure that you had some fall in there too. So the first one is, excuse me, my Scarecrow Jack. This one was model stitched by Stitchy Linda. And it's just really, really cute. She did a great job stitching on him. And I believe that Made by Michelle McGraw is stitching this. She shared it on her most recent one, her progress. It's adorable. And I believe she's removing the owl and I think she's condensing it a little bit. So I'm anxious to see what she does with it. So, and I think she took the words off the basket. It's real cute. Anyways, and then just in case you just wanted a small fall, I wanted to give you Mini Jack. That way, if you just want to stitch something small, he could be a great scissor fob. And anyways, I love him. I love his smile. I think next year I gotta make a girl. He needs a girlfriend. Okay. That's that. Then I shared with you this before, but this came from Under the Woolen Willow, and this is her very first book release. So it is all about her skinny pillows, which I have about 3 of them myself. I love these, but it gives them to you for all seasons. And it's got directions, it's got the patterns, just super quality book. And I love it. I absolutely love this. So, there we go. So thank you for Michelle for donating this. And I think that you're gonna love it. It's really nice. Okay, then I have a few quilting things in case you stitch. These are both from Fat Quarter Shop. They're called Snail Trails. So you've got a couple of different sizes. And then the quilting pattern is Amaryllis Quilt Pattern. And this one is designed by Crystal Stahl. Oh, pretty Christmas. Okay, and then let me show. The last thing that I have is, besides, I'm going to include one more of mine, is 3 awesome project bags from It's So Emma and the Fat Quarter Shop. So I think most of you know they have their Mad for Plaid. And I'm not going to open these because it's so nice when you get them and they're new. But so they have some new ones. And so we have this one, which is the color Bluebell, which I really like. I love these bags. I feel like they're the great bags to have for your car because of them being that vinyl feel. I feel like you can just throw it in the back seat or whatever, and I don't think it would get as dirty as like a quilted project bag. So I really love that for a travel piece. The next one it's called Peony, but to me it's pretty in pink. Anyways, so love that. That would be, the blue one would be great for the tea time. Pink one, whatever. That's good for good for Christmas. I love pink in Christmas. And then this one is made for plaid, and this color is called Misty. And how cool would it be for the Lori Holt, the laundry room one? Because it's got that green in there. So anyway, so you end up with 3 cross stitch bags. So that's what I have for you. I am so thankful to all of you for following me, subscribing. Double check. The word is strength. You need to be over 18 years old. You need to not use any words like winner, draw, giveaway, none of that. So you don't have to use it in a sentence. You don't have to do anything fancy. If you want to, I do love when you comment, and I do read them all. So anyways, the word is strength. Thank you for 7,000, and we'll go for another 7,000. And just make sure that you subscribe, because that's how, when Randy does the random generator, that's kind of part of it. You need to be a subscriber in order to get a giveaway, or win a giveaway. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's move on. And I've shared with you all the news. There's one other thing I will share, and that is that next weekend, Stitchy Linda and I are going to do a special edition FlossTube, whatever, and we are going to share with you our plans for July. She's going to catch up with you. She has some finishes, and it's going to be fun. She has 3 finishes that she got back from a finishing service. She has a finish that she just did, so just an FO, not an FFO. Finished object is just if you finish the stitching, and FFO is a fully finished object. So she's got 3 FFOs, and then she has an FO, and I think she's going for another one. So anyways, she's going to join me, and we are going to go through our plans for July. So even though I really want to share with you what I have ahead besides model stitching, I'm going to save it, and we're going to do a 4th of July type get together and just have a good old time. And it won't be rushed, so it won't be your little half-hour StitchCon thing. We're gonna have fun, and she's got a lot to show because she also has some of her StitchCon stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I am going to share with you my release this week, because that is the only other thing I stitched on. I got so close to, I was getting so close to a finish. I wanted to start something Linda was stitching, and so I kind of asked her for a marching orders. Sorry, I'm trying to get to it over here. And yeah, I asked her for some marching orders, and she's like, finish it, just finish it. So I did, and I wanted to introduce to you, I have finished Rudolph Celebrates. So here is my finish. I went ahead and I had this tray, and originally it was a patriotic tray, and it had not been painted, and there was scrapbook paper in the bottom, and it was looking rough. And I just kept looking at it because I envisioned this propped up on a shelf, or propped up somewhere like this at Christmas, and then I'm gonna fill it. The pattern shows a little bit. I'm gonna fill the bottom with snow and put some picks in there, and then I have a primitive Christmas tree, and it's going to go here, and then a primitive reindeer. And so let me just kind of walk you through. I'll give you a look. I just made this into a flat. I didn't do anything, but there's a little padding behind it. So, and then I did buy I downloaded some scrapbook paper that I Mod Podged to the bottom after I painted this first. It's just a barn red. And then I Mod Podged over this paint as well, so that it had that little bit of gloss. So I got a little gingham in the background, a couple of bows. It's got a little ornament right there. But basically, if I share with you the story, it's my interpretation about what happens after Christmas Eve. And I don't know why, as a kid, I used to think about that, but I can tell you that I did. So, I always wondered when he got home, let me put this down for a second. I always wondered when he got home, what did Santa do as a kid? Did he jump in bed and just crash? And I know these are silly things, but they are my things. And so this is my interpretation of, I feel like when Santa's all done and Mrs. Claus is there to greet him with cocoa, and he takes his jacket off, because in the stitch, he's sitting in his chair and he's got green suspenders, but his jacket's off, his hat's off, you know, he's got his hat on, but it's, you know, he's starting to chill out. So he's got his cocoa, but of course, I think that he would, in my mind, go back out to the barn, where of course it's a fancy barn, and Santa's got an office of some sort that he would go to handle the work in the barn and over the reindeer, of course. And that he would sit there and take a moment and be thankful to Rudolph and celebrate Rudolph's night, because without Rudolph and his nose, none of this would get done. So you've got, in this stitch, you have Mrs. Claus, who's got her cocoa that she's been cooking, and then in her teapot, which is there, and then you have Santa, who's sitting there with his cocoa and handing a carrot to Rudolph. Now Rudolph now has a blanket that's thrown upon him, so that he's all cuddly for Christmas. And of course, Rudolph has his little barn friends, the mice, that are going to join him. But overall, this is just my idea of what it might look like when he's all done. So you've got a couple of mice. This mouse is having a cup of milk and a carrot. You've got this blanket. There are French knots that if you wish to replace the stitches with them, you don't have to do the French knots. These over here are long stitches coming out of her picture, and then just regular stitches. And so outside the barn window, it's snowing. And I just added those in myself. You don't have to stitch those if you don't want to. But I felt like maybe if you looked out the window, you know, he's got a candle lit. Anyways, the family dog is here. And of course, I just envisioned that Santa's portrait would be somewhere out there in the barn. And then Rudolph, his stocking is bigger than the other two. And it's got his name on it. So that is Rudolph Celebrates, and it's now available in my Etsy shop, my cross stitch shop. In my Etsy shop, I guess it's a cross stitch shop. But anyways, I just wanted you to know kind of where the thought process came from. I'm still a kid at heart when it comes to Christmas, and I still remember from when I was a kid what I would think about. And I always thought about, well, what happened after, and what did Rudolph get a treat? Did Rudolph, and maybe it's because I had a horse too, and carrots, I don't know. These things are just up in my brain, and Christmas is always near and dear. So it was, to me, another storybook as far as just, you know, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. These are your big characters, but in my mind, it's the what really happened. A version of it, and I just know that Santa and Mrs. Claus had to celebrate their star reindeer. So anyways, I hope you like it, and it was a different finish for me. I will share personally, I love the end result, and I am excited to prop it up, and it needs the fillers, it needs the snow, it needs all the stuff around it. I considered a frame, and I just thought it would be so cute to use something that I had. And at the same time, I learned, I got frustrated with the finish, and I don't think that you should ever try and finish something when you aren't feeling good. So it took a bit for me to get there with that one, and I would have been just as happy like framing it in a black barnwood frame or something rustic like that, because of course you're in the barn, there's straw on the ground that is used. There's only a couple of, it's all DMC except Whiskey and Bullfrog. So Weeks Dye Works Bullfrog is the garland, and Weeks Dye Works Whiskey is the straw on the ground. Everything else is DMC, and you could easily change the straw to a DMC gold. Very, very easy. So that was my release this week, and okay, let's move on. And just so you know, I don't know that everybody knows, but these are what the patterns, if I share with you a peek, just so you know what my patterns look like when you download them, or if you're getting a hard copy, I can share with you a peek like that. I really love patterns that are easy to read. And I'd rather have them print out for you bigger, than smaller, so that it's an enjoyable stitch. So that is Rudolph Celebrates. Okay, now this week, what are my plans this week? Well, I'll be stitching on the model, but I do want to finally, StitchCon's over, is I want to get stitching on my Paris piece. So this week I will go ahead and I will add, if you recall, this is the piece that we are doing, myself and Sarah and Hope. We all went to Paris together, and we're doing this for our French teacher. We went in 1985. So I'm going to start working on my portion, my third. This portion was done by Sarah, and I knew I wouldn't really get anything started with StitchCon coming. So now I can start doing motif by motif. And this pattern was out on Etsy, and it is called, I think it's just called Paris, to be honest. So if you're interested in it and you wanted it, just message me and I will send you the link. But that is one thing I want to get started on. Okay, the next part is I'm looking for, while I am stitching on the model for Twin Peaks, I just need easy stitches to fill my time sometimes during the day. And since I finished Rudolph, I noticed Stitching Granny of 17 was actually working on flea market baskets. And I had started this, And I originally was thinking I was going to make it for my daughter because I did the flea market flowers for her last year. This is where I'm at. I'm not very far. My original goal at the beginning of the year, which did not get met, was to do one of these flowers every morning. Well, as you can see, that did not happen. But when you see the finish that Deborah did, oh my gosh. And it's right on her most recent one. It's right as the entry picture. She made this into a pillow and it is gorgeous. So I wanted to get back going on it, even if it's just small, but these are all DMC. And these are my floss drops. And I was just starting on the gingham. And so I think that this might be the perfect stitch for me. The colors are really quite pretty. So anyways, and I am stitching mine on 28 count Lugana ivory. Easy peasy. Okay, so that's that. I'll put this back in. I don't have to put all of it in, but I can at least get some of it in there. All right. The other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to mention again, and Linda and I will probably say it again next week. Oh, wait a minute. Ooh, we might have our starts in. Yes, Linda and I will have our starts in because this stitch along starts on July 1st. So this is the, I'm all ready except for the DMC floss, which there's not very many. And that is what Randy and Philip are going to do today. They are going to run up to Joann's for me and grab the floss that I need. So this is the pattern that you've been seeing around from StitchCon, and this was designed by Sue Hillis. And so the SAL is, I will make sure I put it in last week's the StitchCon recap. Stitchy Linda is hosting it, I'm hosting it, Ice Stitcher is hosting it. There's a lot of people stitching it. So I did pick my fabric this week, and I am going to stitch it on 28 count flax. I know where this is going to go. A lot of times I stitch something and I stitch it because I love it, but I don't know where it's going to go. I already know where this is going to go. And so I love the idea of flax, which, I mean, I think it looks a lot. What does they call for? I think it was mushroom. I'm not sure. Let me see here. Unless it doesn't say. I'm looking really quick, but okay. Well, I'm sure it shares here, and I'm just, oh, wooden, oh, no. Okay. It gives you the dimensions and everything. So mine will be 28 count. It'll be 7.5 by 6.7 inches. The instructions are for 32 count. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to keep you waiting. I thought it might tell us, but anyways, so I'm going to stitch it on flax, and I have with me, I'm excited to be able to use this. I shared this last time. Love this. Her Instagram is Police Mom. I also am going to use the tomato floss drop. How cute is that? And I have these beautiful floss drop cards. Hold on one second here. From Carol and Ypsilanti. Love that. And I love the word Ypsilanti, Michigan. But look at those. Oh, I can't wait. So I've got my floss drops. And just so I don't lose anything, the very last minute before you're done and leaving StitchCon, they have a goodbye gift. And the goodbye gift, I don't know if it's the same every year. Maybe it is, I think, but I'm not confident. Because this was my first year, is you get these charms. So in here was our goodbye gift, and it's let's see, oh man, it's the year, it's scissors, it's got everything you need to make something. And so I know that I'm going to use that in my finishing somehow. I know that it'll be cute with some charms on it or something like that. And so all of this will be in my bag here. And this is a bag, hold on a second. This is made by Jennifer of Cricklewood Crossing. So I have, this is the bag. I have all the goods, man. I have all the, I'm so excited. I'm really excited about this one. So I hope you'll join us. You know, even if you went to StitchCon a previous year, or you don't know if you're going to go next year, you can always change the year. But hold on one second. I have to pick up my floss drop cards. I can't believe I did that. Okay. Nothing like having to put your bag on the floor. Okay. So, I don't know what's going on right now. Okay. So that is my July. Goodness gracious. Maybe I still have COVID brain. That's my July. That's a July 1st start. That's a sal. And it is StitchCon 2022 sal. That's your hashtag. Tag me in your progress. Tag Linda. Tag Ice Stitcher. She's from Iceland. How like cool is that? And super sweet. So, you know, give her a follow as well. And if you're doing this, please tag us so we can see your progress. Okay, what else am I going to get going on? Well, since Rudolph is done, I do have a Beulah that I started, but I have one more that I would like to get out there, and it's a design I did, and it is, it's a nativity. And I'm going to share that with you next week because it really falls in line with July plans. So I'll save that for Linda and that. But I have everything ready to go. I have my fabric and it's got a lot of dyed floss in it. And so I'd love to share the look of what it's going to be. So I will share that with you with Stitchy Linda next week because I'd like to get a start on that in July. And since it's the nativity, it would work well for me with Christmas and July stitching. So I'm not expecting to get huge progress on it, but I am expecting to get some stitches in. Okay, what else do I have starting July 1st that you already knew about? Well, it is the Told in a Garden sale. And if you recall, I'm doing the country store. Can you see that good? There you go. And I was waiting on my fabric, which I'm going to use Jobelin with the color Water Lily. Jobelin Water Lily. And, hold on one second, double check. Yeah, 28 count Jobelin Water Lily. So I have this and all 41 DMC floss. That's a lot. So this was the stitch that Linda and I decided that we were going to hold off on. We were going to start it at StitchCon, and oh my gosh, am I glad I didn't. So that is going to be a start this week, and the it's called hashtag Told in a Garden sale, or Told in the Garden sale. I did notice that, made by Michelle McGraw, who is hosting it with Vanna Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher, that it sounds like people have, they're using both. So I don't think it matters, or you can even put 2 in if you're into using the hashtags. So that is one that I will get a start on this week. All right. The next one that I want to get some stitches in, if I can, is I now have 2 whips that are Hands Across the Sea. The first one is Mary Clayton, and it's wrinkly, but I'll show it to you anyways. But this is Mary Clayton. I am stitching this with Kathy. Oh goodness gracious. Why can I see what I mean? I don't understand how all of a sudden you could just poof it. But anyways, Carolina Cross Stitcher, thank you. I just gotta get my brain to work better. Anyways, this is how far I got. And I apologize for the massive wrinkles. So I want to get back. I want to get back at that. Those angels are so cute. Good. So I want to get back out working on that. And because gotta iron that. I also want to get back to the one that Laura from Maud and Mozart is her Instagram name, but Laura everybody knows from Brendan the Serial Starter. Laura and I started Ellen Barber when we were at StitchCon, and this would not take me long, so I'll probably go back to this one. But we wanted to start. We both liked it. This is not a hard stitch. It's just a sweet stitch. So this is Ellen Barber, 1895. Yeah, 1895, and it's the Home Sweet Home. And I did not get any more stitches in, but I will at least share with you. Whoopsie. There we go. Where I got. And this little girl, this one is just precious, absolutely precious. And I'm stitching this was on Grandma's stuffing. And I love it. It is so nice to work on. And these are, I'm using all DMC. So they are bright, they are happy, and both Laura and I are really not orange people. Like orange is just not my, I like it with Halloween, but it's not a color I would think I would have in a sampler. But when you put it together with her stuff and you've got it far enough away, it's really cute. And I wouldn't want to change what she did. It's so little that once you get it in there, it's just part of her. So anyways, I'm excited to keep working on that. And she is housed in my Creative Country Girl Tammy Blaylock bag. And then, while we're talking about Hands Across the Sea samplers, and this bag is big enough for me, is I wanted to share with you that I know my Thanksgiving Day start is going to be Jane Bannister, 1855. So this is my Thanksgiving Day start, and this will be a sal with myself and Susan Stanley, who also has a FlossTube, and Stacy, the 911 Stitcher. And I do believe that Kathy, Carolina Cross Stitcher, she, I believe, is going to join in as well. She's my Hands Across the Sea partner. Now this one would be the biggest that I've ever done for Hands Across the Sea. And I originally thought these were tigers, but I actually think they're just kittens or cats. But if you see this down here, the details, oh, so cool. And the reason is, there's just these really cute cats on the back. So I did get, in order to prepare, I did get before StitchCon all the DMC colors, and there's a lot. Let me see if I can get them here. There's a lot. So one day, I usually wait for a day where I'm just not in the mood for, I don't want to start stitching on something. But a lot of times when I watch FlossTube, this is what I do, because I can wind and watch a lot easier than stitch and watch certain ones. So yeah, that's yummy. And these blues back here, love those. So this gives you plenty of time if you want to join our sale. Like I said, it's our Thanksgiving Day start, and I'm excited for it. I now need to figure out which fabric I want to stitch it on, and that's the next thing, and get my floss wrapped. And other than that, then I'll be ready to just pull it out on Thanksgiving, and I'm excited. But I also know that in my mind is I want to have at least one of my other Mary Claytons finished for sure. So Ellen Barber, I believe, I'll get that done. If I could get Mary Clayton and Ellen Barber done by November, that would be fantastic, because then I would feel better about having one big Hands Across the Sea sampler as a whip. So that's November. That's a sale. Join us. Jane Bannister would love to have you. Okay. Alrighty then. All right. The other one I need to get back to, it's kind of just whatever the mood, if the mood strikes, is I need to get back to the sale with Fat Quarter Shop on the summer home, because this is where I got to. And then StitchCon and COVID and everything else hit our way. But I'm not going to give up, and I'm not going to feel like I can't still stitch this, even though many others are finished. So I wanted to go ahead, and this one, you know, it came in this nice bag, and it was all courtesy of Fat Quarter Shop. And so I love the colors. I like working on this even weave that they had by Fabric Flair. So I just need to get back at it. And it is the hashtag summer home sale. And I am using all of the classic colorworks. So I think it's going to be pretty when it's all done. And I've seen a few conversions, and oh my goodness, if you look at the hashtag, some are, whoa, really pretty. Country Stitches, I know Deb is stitching it, and she's done her own, and wow, just beautiful, beautiful choices. Then I don't have much haul. I mean, what happens, you can't really, I wasn't feeling like shopping, and StitchCon was huge, so I was good. I didn't need to be out shopping, but I did, one second here. Want to share with you that I made a fall. I don't mind sharing my Matildas with you. I don't know why, but I just when I come up with a little design for her, I don't mind sharing what it looks like not stitched up yet. So I found this fabric at Joann's, and it's this patchwork, and something made me think Scarecrow Matilda. And I won't make her, I have no intention of making her like a retreat bag, something like I've done in the past where she can drop off her name. I really just want to sit her in my tier tray, or a fall basket with some sunflowers or something like that. So even though this is not going to show you what she looks like, this is Scarecrow Matilda. And we got a couple pumpkins, we have a corn stalk, because I'm sure she would nibble on the corn, and we have a sunflower that I'm going to work on her hat, and she actually has little scarecrow, little polka dots. So, you know, still potential for change, but other than that, this is going to be my next Matilda that I work on, and that is Scarecrow Matilda, because I think she'd be so cute. And I gotta try and remember, I think this is Brash, but I was, in my mind, as far as what I'm looking at, is I'm kind of looking at putting these two together. I'm not confident, because part of me feels like mushroom would be good, lighter would be good. So when I get my floss and then I drop it, then I'll decide on the fabric. But it'll be a 32 count and something in the neutral round for fall. But I liked her. She made me smile. So that is Scarecrow Matilda. She'll be the next in the Matilda, I guess you could call it series, because who knows. All right, and then I wanted to share, as far as haul goes, and I think it's my last thing, that Mama Loves You GB released a new reproduction sampler this week, and she reproduced it, and I just wanted to make sure that, you know, I could support her with this because it's beautiful. I love the colors in it. And the name of it is Susanna Eckley's 1853. Now she has an Etsy shop. And let me see here. She's, I can at least show you the antique. Got the antique and the reproduced sampler side by side. And she gives you some really good information. So, you know, head on over. It's got some history to it, which I love. I will flip this real quick because I want you to know I love that her patterns, they look a lot like mine. I mean, I love the fact that I can see that. So her patterns are really well done. Love that. So anyways, head over and, you know, Sampler September's coming up. So you could get it and put it away because we're going to turn around and it's going to be time to dive into samplers. So, oh, and 911 Stitcher put out her most recent FlossTube. I think she went to the attic, and it was all about Bristol samplers, and it's a must watch. It's a must watch. It's really good. She shares our sale, or the sale that I'm doing on Jane Bannister, but she also got to have an incredible experience at the attic, and that is definitely on my stitchy bucket list for sure. But I love that she got to go to something specific on Bristol samplers, and I love that she got to meet Nicola Parkman from Hands Across the Sea. That would be so good. Okay, I think that's it. I'm at an hour, and oh, I know, giveaway this week is the 7,000 subscriber. I gave you the word strength. Don't forget that. If you get a chance, please go over and watch Welcome Stitchery. The shop owner is Justine, and they are a hoot. They are a hoot. They're best friends. They've been best friends since they were kids. They're like sisters, but anyways, go give them a watch. And, you know, if you could jump over to Stitching Granny 17, I will make sure to put the link below. But again, there's a sweet treat for me there, as well as it's a sweet treat to watch her. She does some beautiful quilting. She does a great job on her videos. And at the very end, she shares some, whatever the Lord placed on her heart. And I got to tell you, it's a great time to have a place to go that we love the same things and we love to stitch. And if you're a quilter and a cross stitcher, and she's just very organized, and I love that. And she's just super sweet, and to me, giving back to our community, as well as a little piece of her heart at the end of every episode. So go check her out, and I hope you like the new release, Rudolph Celebrates. And other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and get exercising. I need to get back at that, so this is day 2, and get back home before the rain and get some good stitching in. And boy, do I wish I could share with you the model stitch. I am getting really excited. Soon. There's still a lot to go, but soon, and I can't wait. But other than that, happy stitching, be blessed, you know, enjoy your week, and just don't forget to floss. It's our therapy. It's just that place that we can go to escape the things that are stressing us out. And I know there are things in the world right now that are stressing us out. So anyways, I love you all. And for those of you who are new, I'm so happy to have you here. And I will catch you next week with Stitchy Linda going through our Christmas in July plans. And of course, hopefully I will have much more stitching to show with you because COVID has left the building. Thank goodness. Don't want to do that again. So anyways, love you guys. Don't forget to floss. Bye.